All right, we are live. Welcome everybody. It's Monday morning, 8 a.m., and we are working with the book The Invocation of Presence, chapter 8. But before we begin, I just wanted to make sure that we begin with Nishant's thoughts that he been trying to share for a while now. So Nishant, the stage is yours.
No, I just wanted to share this. So, you know how they talk about many eyes, many eyes. We have so many eyes inside, and the last month when I was driving Rajan from Austin to Dallas, and in the first time I actually was able to see those eyes, flipping. One eye came in, then the other eye, and I realized, oh, this is what they're talking about, all these years. Um, Also, I noticed that all these eyes by themselves are very weak. The, our work eye, the essential self eye, is much more stronger. And whatever power these eyes have is also given by us with our attention. They don't have any power or
Hmm.
existence by itself. So if you feel that, oh, this what, is just how much ever we give it, that I, the power is what they have.
So how how do we give one eye more power than another eye, let's say?
If you have a like a what is the word I should use? Like a habitual eye, this comes in and um, what is it called? Those older Bollywood movies, all these mafia gangs will have they call oh, you have to pay them hafta, right? Remember those old
Yeah,
movies?
yeah, something like that.
It's
So
something like
that's
that. It's come to take their part of, I don't know what's the English word for that.
Yeah, I think I don't really know the word for it, but if a gang, uh, uh, let's say you have a shop in a gang area, and the shopkeeper will pay some amount of money weekly to the gang area so that the gang members can keep either the shop safe or
Yeah,
stay away
they'll
from the
not
shop
attack
and
you.
keep it
Yeah,
safe.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So it's like a salary. Not really a salary is not the right
No,
word,
it's
but you pay them money.
yeah, it's like a protection fee.
Yeah, yeah, protection money. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
protection.
yeah, all these eyes they come in to get their own money.
And the protection money is paid to the people you want to be protected from. It's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the same setup. So these guys, all these eyes, they come in to get their own money. The money they get in form of attention. And how much ever you will put attention to, that's how much money they'll get.
Okay. So like I'm starting to get really proud about my beard here,
Yeah, right.
right? And I really want people to tell me how nice it is
Mhm.
to
Compliment.
feed something, right?
Yeah, yeah, feed attention. So it's like imaginary how he said real eye, acquired eye. So acquired eye is that I am a person with a beard. The imaginary eye is I have the best beard and everybody should should praise how good and handsome I'm looking with this beard on.
Oh, well, thank you, Nishant.
Yeah, I really like that animation that Alka's that face is making when she smiles.
Yeah.
So if that's true, how do I, which actually leads us into chapter 8, Nikhil, but
Yeah,
how do I, so what you're saying is that there's mechanical eyes
Mm.
running around getting protection money,
Yes.
and then there's the essential self, the
Real life.
intentional
Yeah.
eye. They're kind of at a, I actually don't want to say that they're at war with one another, okay? I don't want to go there for myself. But how do I make one weaker and one stronger, or allow one to become stronger and the other one to be less important?
well, it
So
has to be a
because
conscious
these,
choice on your part.
Go ahead, Nishant.
no. So go, yeah, Nikhil, what you're saying?
I was saying that it's like it is a conscious choice uh to
Yeah.
support one and not the other.
Right.
Go ahead, Nishant.
No, so these eyes, because they have been in us for a long time, they have established a pattern. And that pattern is automatic. It will keep on going on. And it initially it's tough to break that pattern. The
It
only,
is?
yeah,
Why is it tough?
because it is going at its own, every eye has its own share of attention that it's working on.
But isn't it also that we don't even know it's there?
Yeah, if we don't know, it will just keep on feeding of your attention.
So in about an hour, I'm going to have a meeting with a friend at a restaurant.
Mm.
So I'm going to walk over to the restaurant. I'm going to sit down. Then here comes the waitress, right? To
Yeah,
take my order. And what if I start feeling like that pride of, like, I hope she thinks it's a nice,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Nice beard. Hmm.
Ooh, so I'm sitting up and maybe I'm going like this, you know.
Yeah,
Or maybe, what if I just notice how the machine reacts or responds? There's a better word. So I'm put in a situation and put myself there and watch the machine seek this glory, right?
yeah, yeah,
And if I can watch it, isn't that the first 7 chapters of this book? Is
yeah,
you pay attention exactly what does it mean? Because when I say the word, I have pride in my beard, it's a kind of a generality, isn't it? It's mental.
yeah,
But when I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to impress a pretty girl, then it's pretty real, isn't it?
yeah. It all feels very real. When it's at the moment, it will feel as if it's the most real thing in the whole universe until it passes away and the other eye comes in.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
but we have, I think what I'm thinking, what I'm trying to say is that we have a moment, we have the opportunity of seeking freedom at that moment.
mm,
Like if I go there and I just, I get stiff and I just talk to my friend, order, and I forget the ego, it's just going to keep operating quietly
correct.
because I'm so
Yes.
embarrassed that I
Yeah.
have this pride thing working on a stupid thing. So I don't want to see it. I don't want myself to see it. I don't want others to see it. But what
Yeah.
if I let it run, but I watch it with careful attention?
Yes.
And I think that's some of the previous chapters. I think even chapter 5, I think it was chapter 5 that where isn't that the confession thing?
Hmm.
Where's the confession? Yeah, chapter 5. So what am I doing right now, Nishant?
Mhm. First thing is to identify,
Yeah.
um, and that will itself probably take 20 years of practice.
I'll see
But
you in 20 years.
but in a certain way, I'm confessing this mechanical eye right now. Am I not?
Mhm.
But I'm confessing it to a group of workers and voyagers. If it dominated me, I don't know that I'd have the strength to confess to you.
Right, right. If it
Right.
dominates, it will just put you to sleep. You won't even know it's there.
Yeah, it put me to sleep, which means I don't even notice it,
No,
but it's
right,
working.
correct. Yes.
So
Yeah, you will be so identified with it that you will just feel that, oh, this is who I am.
this is me.
This is me, yeah.
I am the guy.
I'm the guy with the best beard in the whole wide world.
Boom.
Nobody
I think
comes
so
even close
too.
to me. Yeah.
And what does it even mean? I pay attention to it.
So initially, this attention, they will take it automatically. Like you won't even know they are using it. They are just like a parasite, sucking it out of you without you even knowing that. Once you notice, then only you can work on it. And that work will involve again breaking that pattern. Um,
Well, am I breaking the pattern or am I breaking my identification to it?
correct, breaking identification.
Because I'm going to go
Yeah.
in about an hour. I'm going to go over there and I guarantee you it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can suppress it. I might even be able to stop it. Go ahead, Bernie. I think he has his hand up.
Thank you, David. Two things come to my mind. One, who is paying attention? Who is paying attention? One. And the other thing, I can't answer that. We can answer that maybe. We can explore the answer. And the other one is there is a kind of ladder in my mind. We are talking about the dominant ego who is always trying to maneuver. And as I agree with Nishant, there are many guys that take the command of the wheel, no?
Mm.
But we have been also taught by the mostly Christians or Catholic to climb the second ladder, that is the accuser. You know,
Mm,
I must not be this way because it's a
aha.
sin, blah 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 blah.
This is good.
Uh, I think no, we can explore it, of course. That there is a third because the accuser blames himself, but who is he? He himself. There's a lot of trouble there. So it comes again to the first ladder. Uh, I think that there is a third ladder, more than three, but there are, the first ladder is when we can realize all this play that is working, that is not, it's natural and it's useful, but there is a third ladder that maybe we cannot climb by using the usual tools of effort and you know, blowing your chest. Oh, I must not be. And in some traditions, it's called the inspirational ego, and it's and when I think of it, I think it has to do something with breathing. You know,
With breathing?
breathing. Yes, coming to the present, seeing all, and when that happens, I think that you can get, at least for some seconds or minutes, out of the play. No, it's the wheel gets a higher level of command, and probably that is the sense of self,
Yeah,
or at least something in that line. So that's
yeah,
what I wanted to.
Okay.
yeah.
Can
The
you,
essential self.
can you expand on the accuser?
Are you asking me,
Yeah.
David? Well, we have talked about it in past reunions, no? Uh, Accuser is the one that in reality is the same dominant guy that he wants to traps. Robert the Rob is very uh, points out very well that the traps that we make. We want to be better. So it's good in a way, but where that better comes from to being better, it's it's a push from the ego, the dominant ego. No, I want to be better. I want to be. I want to be good. I want to be loved. So I have to behave better. When we are child, that is very essential for survival. We want to be. We need to be loved. Of course, we need to be loved because we are very vulnerable. But we are grown up now. We have a job. We have our money. We can talk. So we could leave something of that behind. No, in a way we could grow up a little bit. No?
So all these smaller eyes, uh, if you bundle it together, can become strong, bigger eye by itself. Not that it's a one eye, but it's just a bundle of all these eyes. You know, these are the socially accepted, like social upbringing that, oh, this is, so Bernie should be this, Bernie should be this, he should be, you know, this things that all bundle, if you bundle together, it will become stronger. Not that it's strong by itself, but just because it's all bunched together.
Yes, but it's we must remember that it's also a protection because we live in a world of matter, and be it an illusion or not, this is the world we are now living, and this is a protection
Yeah.
because
I mean,
we are social animals.
the machine grew up in part to protect us, no question about it. Okay. But maybe we don't need that form of protection anymore. And it doesn't even quite remember. Okay.
No, I think we don't need that protection all the time. Whenever you need it, you can
Okay.
use
Ah,
those eyes.
All right. Nicely better put.
yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because even at my job, I told everyone that I am the best doctor in this hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I use that protection, but I don't say that at home.
I wonder why not. We think you're
Are
the
you?
best doctor, Nishant, okay?
Yes, yes, thank you.
Well, we at least we think you're the best doctor in this class.
Do we have anyone else who's doctor?
Well,
I mean,
not
I
at the
don't know.
moment.
Well, it doesn't matter because I'm the best, you know.
There you go.
Yes, there you go.
Well, the thing is, we laugh at it, but we pay a price for all that posture, of course. Wanted or no, needed or not, we pay a price for maintaining that um,
Yeah,
style, no? Pay a try
that
because
persona. We have to
yes,
maintain the
because
persona. Yeah.
the truth is we are rounded by a lot or maybe all people that are thinking the same way as we do. So we think we are the best doctor, and all others don't think the same. and,
Yeah, yeah.
and maybe they think they are the
They are the
best.
best. Yes.
So there is a struggle, and we pay a price with stress and illness and whatever, no?
Yeah,
But
Mm.
but
anyway,
but I also think there is
uh,
a balance. There's a balance between saying I am the best doctor in the world versus having confidence in your ability to know that you can be a good
yes,
doctor
No,
in
it's
under
not.
stressful
It's not
situations.
that I'm the best doctor. It's just that I am using that I for protection out in
Right,
the outside world.
Hmm.
precisely. It's not the quality of his, you know,
Being.
ability as a surgeon. It's that he's attached. If he's attached to that, that brings him down.
Right. But you can always use it as Bernie said for protection. In the society, we have to earn livelihood. We have to
Yes,
put our space in there,
Mhm.
so we can use it. We can use those eyes. And if we have to use it, why don't use it the best way, right?
Right.
But that's
right.
not who we are.
it is what we are also. It is, and we are not.
Hmm.
Uh, we come again to the first question that who who is paying attention? Who is
The essential self, the
okay?
real I.
Who is the essential self? Where is this? Is
Well,
it
So I
mind,
will
the
tell you
heart?
this. When we started playing that Diablo Safari 3 years back, 4 years. I don't know. Are you familiar with Diablo, Bernie? The game?
I'm familiar, but I
I am not.
never I have never played it, but I'm
So
familiar.
monsters, and we are 4 people. And where I was on that screen, like which one was my character?
hmm.
Because I would be always confused. I would think, oh, this is my character, but that would be like Jim's character fighting. And then I'm doing something on my keyboard and mouse, and I'm sure my character is moving around, but I have no idea where my character is. The screen is so full of characters, including my character, Jim's character, Claude's character, and what's his the fourth player that plays. It took me almost 1 year just to pinpoint where I was, where on this whole screen where there are like thousands of people on the screen doing something, fighting with each other.
Nice.
Yeah, but unless you pinpoint that real I, yeah, it will be all characters.
It feels like to pinpoint that real eye, you just have to dig deep and push behind the many eyes that you see in front of you. And maybe if you push, and then maybe you can see that real eye behind it. And you'll see that all these different eyes are just like a mask that the
Yeah,
real eye is wearing to be in this world and to function in this world and to survive.
yeah,
So, I always thought years ago, I always thought that I have to get rid of all these eyes, and these are the pursuit to find the real eye was so strong that I was okay with ignoring all these many eyes tools that the real eye can
yes.
use.
And
And
every eye needs to be worked upon, even a
yes,
smaller one, bigger one. If we ignore it, will just keep on functioning in the background without you even knowing that.
right. I just want to go back to what Nishant was saying when you said you were driving Rajan and then you started noticing
Yeah,
these many eyes within you. So when you started noticing the shifting of one eye from another, was it like a physical sensation that you noticed, or was it a mental centrum that brought to your attention?
no, no, not the mental
No.
syndrome. This is just observation, self-observation.
Okay,
Okay,
so
If
that gets us to the concept of the sensing mechanism.
yeah,
Okay. I think we need to read chapter 8. Okay.
let's get to
We
it.
don't have very much, might not have enough time to read the entire chapter, but it's a good chapter to focus on to answer that question. It's not, yeah.
So should we jump into it? Yes. Nishant, why don't you get us started, if that's
yes,
okay with you?
okay. Yeah, absolutely. Chapter 8, Momentum of Invocation. The Universal Traveling Junk Shop. G remarked that the fourth way is also called the way of the fool, who uses his organic machine's mechanical weaknesses and hungers to his own advantage, for his evolution and to help him in his self-invocations and other preparatory work. This calls to mind the subject of the remembering factor, he continued, which can be anything that serves to remind us to invoke presence. The invocation of presence depends entirely on the ability to remember to invoke presence. In the same way, the popcorn exercise and its resulting reversal of the function of the head brain and tail brain depends on your ability to remember to do the exercise. But is this not similar to the experience of not riding a bicycle for many years, and then when you climb on a bicycle, then is it, yeah, pedaling it all over town? One of the younger American women asked in the past.
She said, if you practice dance or theatrical arts, how do you remember to practice? A natural dancer, when practicing, annotates movements by sensing. But dance is dance. A dancer cannot fail to remember to take classes. In dance there are many forceful reminders. But self-invocation is different. Nobody pays us to self-invoke, nor does self-invocation elicit applause. So, how to remember to invoke presence? I pass.
Okay. Read. We could put up a sign. We will see the writing on the wall and remember to do it. But if the sign is always up, eventually it blends with the totality of visual vibrations and becomes just another dull blob of gray in the vague clutter of half and quarter perceived visions, which form the greater part of the life of man on earth. To be really certain to remember to invoke presence, every few minutes an entirely different alarm clock would be necessary because the same remembering factor would soon become familiar and trite. Ho hum, I invoke presence. I invoke presence, invoke presence, presence, presence. He droned in a dull, flat tone. The invocation itself would become automatic and formal and ritualized. Ritual simply means to follow format, but ritualized in this sense means that the format has become more important than the content. If an activity becomes ritualized, the actual conditions are not taken into account, leaving no room for improvisation. There is the problem, R said. You improvise and make the scene work, come alive. But so often we do not. G said, as in a play, if you plow through, the sheer luck of your straight line effort may occasionally produce the invocational effect. But as in a play, the inability to improvise generally guarantees that seldom, if ever, will it become infused with the living force of presence.
We need a remembering factor to remind us to make each scene of the play of life come alive in the spotlight of presence. Suppose we saw an automobile driving on the street by itself. Could this act as a reminder for us? Anything of an unusual nature could serve to help us to remember. And after you develop a certain discipline for the invocation of presence, you will notice many remembering factors all around you in the course of your ordinary life. You may work very hard to invoke presence 4 times each hour, like clockwork. If grudgingly, dutifully, the invocation of presence is ritualized, what could serve as a remembering factor? He asked. I use thoughts as remembering factors. R said. What about when thoughts become trite? G asked. In Sufi literature, there is reference made to something called remembering, but not what remembering refers to. Because remembering in our tradition refers to to different things at different stages, placing attention differently at each gradation along the way. For your work just now, remembering refers to the invocation of presence. remembering to invoke presence, and then actually taking a moment to invisibly invoke presence is the beginning of work discipline. I pass.
At a certain point, remembering refers to the unveiled vision of the patchwork quilt, the living face of our endless, in the sense of the endless knot or the endlessness of that without borders, separations, or boundaries. Creator. Remembering can also refer to any sensation which produces negative emotion, which in turn should, by its automatic force, arouse our sleeping, arouse your sleeping or wandering attention, which reminds you to invoke presence. The invocation of presence reminds you to do the popcorn exercise. The popcorn exercise reminds you to clarify the unveiled vision, which in turn reminds you to walk between raindrops, which in turn reminds you to do the last hour of life exercise, which in turn reminds you to remember to observe your pulse, which reminds you to do the pulse prayer. Then suddenly you have the definition of negative emotion, which reminds you, oh, I'm supposed to remember something. Something that starts with a P, provokes. I could probably rationally meditate on it. Let us see if something suggests itself. A, B, C, D. I think it starts with my last hour of death. Oops, I feel remorse. What? Remorse? Remorse. I feel so guilty when I feel remorse because I know I should feel more remorse than I do. Remorse should remind me of something. But what? No matter what I think I see, the king is naked. All phenomena is illusion. There is something I'm supposed to remember. Something, 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 something. My habits carry me through. Even if I cannot remember the four lines, I did remember that there are four of them, just like the Ten Commandments. I may not know what any of them are exactly, but I do remember that there are 10 of them. And I pass.
Okay, so let's go back to the paragraph starting with remembering can also refer. I'm bringing this up because we've covered this several times in previous chapters, but it's, to me, this is one of the most, and we don't have much time, but I just wanted to focus. Remembering can also refer to any sensation which produces negative emotions, which in turn should, by its automatic force, arouse your sleeping or wandering attention, which reminds you to invoke presence. So, in a sense, your mechanical sleepiness could be used to invoke presence. Does that make sense at all?
Yes.
Let's say that you have a tendency for your facial muscles to really scrunch up, get tight. Doesn't matter why or when or in what condition, but or you see yourself like your head moving back and forth real fast, or your mouth takes on a certain form. Those are usually the examples of a negative emotion manifesting. What if that keyed you into self-observation. Oh, then we have like an infinite amount of reminding factors, right?
Yeah. And EJ uses happy, joy, all this as negative emotion.
Mhm.
It's not just
Like when you
and
get the award this year, Nishant, for being the best surgeon ever,
yeah,
and you go on stage to accept your award, and the crowd is clapping and everybody's going, "Oh my God." Your
yeah,
rivals, of course, are clapping, but they have a different view. But you should say, "Well, I'd like to thank you for this, and my ego would like to thank you as well." Because that'll be an automatic reaction, right?
yeah,
These things don't go away. Our attachment to them might get less powerful. That's all I'm saying. Okay. And if you do one at a time, one small one, it's like an announcement to the entire machine that says, "You ain't in charge anymore, big boy."
yeah. That's a big step. And the muscle
Yeah.
using the muscles, is like a huge thing.
Every one of Spinoza, the 17th century philosopher, said that he defines emotion is a bodily modification and an idea thereof. And this is in the 1630s, 40s. This is a precursor to modern psychology and neuroscience. But so there's going to be a body modification, which means a sensation in the body, a movement, an energy, whatever it might be.
Yeah. And
Oh,
Bernie used the good word, posture. The posture,
mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, first time I was directed to the muscles is by Jayesh.
Mm.
And he said, muscles are important. I said, why? He said, oh, um, and that's when I realized, I said, why everyone keeps telling me to relax my muscles? Why, why is it important to relax muscles? Yeah.
It's reminded me, EJ worked with the mood, and so posture,
Mm,
the posture and moods. So in that sense, it's reminded me what you just talk about, the body, the muscle, the nervous system, the posture can
mhm.
affect the mood.
Yeah.
We were doing the attentionizer exercise in the beginning of this class, this meeting. And as soon as we began, I dropped the facial muscle and I just paid attention to the amount of energy that it took to
Mm.
have that face, to carry that face. And
Nice.
I did not even notice that. I was only able to notice that after relaxing the facial muscle. And then thinking to myself, whoa, I just do that all the time, every day, all day. And that's like a lot of energy spent on it.
Yeah. Very good. Good observation. Yeah, the tailbrain, I think what they're referring is the moving centrum. The neuromuscular, the muscle memory, what they call it, the sports guy, the athletes. When they're on the field, they are not thinking about how to catch the ball, how to throw the ball. They just do it.
One of the things that I found it difficult for myself is remembering. I don't remember to invoke my presence as much as I would like to.
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions there. Okay. When you say you don't invoke your presence as much as you would like to, what do you even mean by that? Who's
No,
who?
I meant I don't remember to invoke my presence.
Yeah, you don't remember. Who doesn't? But then you said as much as I would like to, right?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Just to be a better worker, right? Better at work.
Well, yeah, but I mean, some place in his brain, he's got a thing that says, I should be doing it this amount of time.
Mm.
That's that's the mental centrum. It's trying to go imposing its will and say, oh yeah, here are the rules.
It's still the ego, yes.
Still the ego. Of course it's the ego. I'm not saying to stop doing it. I'm just saying you might want to look at that. As
Yeah.
much as I would like to.
Mm.
Yeah, but I think initially you will have to make that, right? I mean,
Sure.
they
Yeah.
will too, because the discipline, what is called um,
Absolutely. Absolutely. You fake it until you make it.
Mm.
Okay. It's not a bad program. It's just
Yeah,
it's
that's just another I that you are creating, but you need that I.
yeah.
Bernie,
David,
you want to say something?
yes, because we tend to think through words, and words are very misleading sometimes. No, not every
Yeah.
time, but so we are faced with these words and sentences that are paradoxical. But uh, one sentence that I, from time to time, bring myself in this line of paradox is this one that I have come again to my mind. If your own vice is the search of virtue, recognize it. That's all you can do. If your own vice is the search of virtue, recognize it.
Mm.
You can you can you can possibly do much than, but that is a lot. The
Sure it
recognition
is.
is a lot. So we cannot stop the thinking. We cannot stop the ego on his work, and we cannot because we don't know who who exactly is doing the thinking. But we're observing it, and hope how hopefully I myself hope for it because I am in the same fully think that something will come by itself from that recognition.
Yes, yes.
maybe, maybe, who knows? You know, yesterday we were at Pat. I don't know if any one of you were in Patricia's gathering. Yes, and the chapter in this wonderful work, book, The Hidden Work, and if you allow me, I would like to quote it because it's so powerful, at least to me. In the work, we must take the risk that it may all be for nothing.
Mm.
In the end, we might very well be annihilated because even after full preparation for the work, there is a chance that we might not be immediately useful to the work. But if sometime in the future we could become useful, our work necessity could be sufficient to bring us into the work, preserving us for the later use. And
Nice. But
yes, and
but why not
yes,
why not take the shot? Why not take the shot? Okay. The chance. Why
well,
not roll these dice?
yes.
It's not a bad
Well, some of the guys that were there brought something that I didn't get it at first, but said, "Well, there is hope there. There is hope there. There is a lot of hope." No, so I remind myself and remind the group in the obligatory readers invocation that with Nishant and Gil we do every day. The last quatrains says, "To the divine silence of the primordial being, to the divine silence of the great sacrifice, we offer homage, love, and hope. But above all, we give our gratitude." So in that lines, there is
great power.
hope,
Great
and
power,
and,
great
and
hope. Yeah.
yes, even it is in my case ritualized because I do it every day. So many times I don't feel what I read. That's the truth, no? Because it has become very automatic. Thank you for.
So take the time during the week to read over this chapter again, and then we'll finish off reading it next week and see if it makes any sense to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Nikhil, for helping us.
Thank you, Nikhil.
Thank you,
Thank
David.
you, guys.
Thank you, Bernie.
You all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
All
you.
right.